Once upon a dark and stormy night, in a small village surrounded by a dense forest, there was a tale no one dared to tell. It was the story of the Whispering Woods, a forbidden place said to be cursed. The villagers whispered about it, but never loud enough to be heard by the trees, for it was believed they were always listening. In that village lived a curious little boy named Timmy. Despite the warnings, Timmy's curiosity got the better of him. He had heard the hushed voices talking about the woods and wanted to know what secrets they held. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Timmy grabbed his lantern and quietly slipped away from his home into the gathered gloom of the forest. The deeper Timmy ventured, the thicker the fog became until he could barely see a few steps ahead. The trees seemed to close in around him, their branches like skeletal hands reaching out to grab him. Just as he felt he could go no further, Timmy heard a faint whisper carried on the wind. It was soft and eerie, calling his name, Timmy, Timmy. He followed the sound, his heart pounding in his chest. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, but he couldn't make out the words. Suddenly, he stumbled into a small clearing where an ancient twisted tree stood alone. Its bark was dark and gnarled, and on its trunk was carved a single word, leave. Terrified, Timmy tried to turn back but found that the path had vanished. The tree seemed to shift, blocking his way. The whispers now came from all around him, louder and louder, leave, leave, leave. Panicked, Timmy clamped his hands over his ears and ran blindly through the forest. Branches scratched his face and arms, and he tripped over roots and rocks. Finally, he burst out of the woods and collapsed at the edge of the village. When the villagers found him, Timmy was barely conscious. He stammered about the whispers and the tree, but no one believed him. They warned him never to speak of it again, for fear that the forest would come for him. Timmy never fully recovered from that night. He would sit by the window, staring out at the forest with empty eyes, refusing to speak of what had happened. The woods were silent once more, but the villagers knew better. They knew the forest was waiting, listening, and that the whispers could return at any moment. And so, the tale of the Whispering Woods became a silent legend, never to be spoken of again.